The Hardman fight, man, I'm not out there to look for more, publicity or more media than what I actually got. I mean, who's Hardman? I mean, at the end of the day, he's not the best. He's not even the best middleweight in his gym. He's running his mouth yet again. I mean.
Yeah, so you don't look past your next fight, but is it fair to say that Zerafa's the guy?
For sure. I'm going to smash him, but he's got the trump card. He chinned me in 2 rounds. There's a lot of backstory to that fight, and that way too much emotion in it for me. I was 25 at the time, and he got the better of me that night, and he holds the trump card. And he can sit there and laugh his ass off at me and say, "Mate, I chinned you in 2 rounds." But I'll put myself in a position where there's no other way for him to do anything but to fight me. He takes step aside money for 40 grand, instead of shooting his shot against Falcoa here in Australia for a world title. Who does that? I bet these 2 boys here on a day's notice would take a world title opportunity in Australia. It's your best chance to win a world title is in Australia, in your own backyard, and that pipsqueak takes, step aside money, or doesn't even take that fight, that opportunity, and then he gets the fight, he takes step aside money for the Lara Garcia fight or whatever. He's doing nothing. He's fought 1 time in 1 year, chinned me, unfortunately, but I'll get that back, and I can't finish boxing until I get back in that man's face, and I'll do it right next time for the pleasure of everyone in Australia, because he's a jerk.
Why can you beat him?
Because I just know I can. I know I fully believe in myself. I can beat that man. I just know it, and I unfortunately brought myself undone that night. It was a big learning curve, and I've spoken to a lot of people about it after, and it's made me a better person. Brought me back down to earth, and I almost could thank Michael Zerafa for bringing me back to earth and making me a better person, making me a better husband, better father, better everything, better friend, and all better boxer. So that man wouldn't take that fight. I know he wouldn't, but I'll put him in a corner so he has to.
When you get beat, if it was a 12-round fight and it was close and it was on, my promoter, yeah, sure, let's get a rematch. Man, you got schooled, and I hate how we keep saying, oh man, he dusted me 2 rounds. He's giving himself too much credit. 2 rounds is 6 minutes. He went 4 minutes. Do you know what I mean? He gives himself too much credit. He says, oh, I was 26 at the time. I was 30. Do you know what I mean? It was a year ago, a year and a half ago. And in that time, he's lost again. He lost against Murdock. And then he kicked on about that too. Like, you lost fair and square, man. It wasn't even close. Murdock boxed your ears off. You know what I mean? And Hardman's sitting there running me, I want to fight Zerafa and I'm going to earn my way back. And your first payday was fighting me. You should be grateful. You know what I mean? Not running your mouth. But he's a different person when I'm in front of him. So, man, I'm a big fan of Murdock. Yeah, like he's a gentleman. Murdock can box. And a lot of people ruled him out because Hardman's got power. I said, man, when skills pay the bills, I know it's a cringy, saying, but it's the truth, And I knew Murdock was going to box his ears off. I was talking to Murdock prior to that fight, and the man can move. Man, he's a great boxer. He's slick. He's got another fight coming up. I think he does well again. I wish him all the best. He's a gentleman. He's always had my back, and I'll always have his, man. So, but again, Hardman was kicking on and screaming, and people saw what an absolute idiot he is, and then he gets in the face and I don't even understand when he talks. It doesn't even make sense. It's not even English. I don't know, my boxing IQ drops every time he opens his mouth. And like I said, I want Zerafa. Man, keep my name out your mouth. I went 2 rounds. No, you didn't. You went 4 minutes. I was in first gear. You know what I mean? Oh, I did myself. I was undone. No, you did. That's your problem. You know what I mean? Then you're not a true professional. You know what I mean? If you beat yourself, what's everyone else going to do to you? For me, like I said, it's a chapter done. Man, I fought him, I beat him, I knocked him out in 4 minutes, just to remind everybody. I don't think he's world level, man. I truly don't. I don't believe, not in a bad. I wish him all the best, and I truly. Are people going to say, oh yeah, I wish Hardman all the best? I got no animosity towards him. Yeah, he annoys me because of how he talks. I thought that was done. We had a good build up. We built up the fight. We got in the ring. We settled it as man. I beat him. I was a bigger man, the better man. Now he kicks on again, but I don't think he's world class level. I just don't think he's at that level. And he's sitting there saying he was bashing Caleb Plant and all that. I'm like, man, I don't know. He only knows one way. He relies on his power, and once that power goes, I think Joel. Look, I'm a big believer Joel Camilleri beats him. But until that fight happens, I guess I'm just pending. But I think Joel Camilleri beats him. You can't knock a guy that's winning. See guys like Hardman. He's making excuses because of this and that, and I don't know, man. Like that to me is not a champion. That to me that's not a professional. If I lose, I lose. If Lara beats me, he was better on the night. Like Cal Brook beat me, he was better on the night. I raised his hand. Jeff Horn beat me. As much as it was, in my eyes, a robbery, and to the boxing world it was a robbery, I copped it on the chin, I raised his hand, you know, and guys like Hardman aren't doing that. Guys like Tim Tszyu, yeah, like I said, he's beating the guys that put in front of him. You know, we have our differences, but for the sport, we all should be getting behind each other. You know, obviously there's that rivalry between me and him, and you know, we're two of the best in the country. I truly believe that. Me and Tim Tszyu, I think, are the bigger names. And then you got guys, obviously, like with the rivalry I'm talking about. You know, then you got guys like Opatea, absolute beast. I think he's the face of the sport, aligned with Cambosis. You got Liam Paro, Liam Wilson, Sam Goodman's coming up now. You know, the sport's red hot, man. You know, like it's doing good things, and like I said, I feel like that rivalry, and I seem to have it with everybody. You know, Horn, Hardman, Tszyu, and that's what the sport needs. I need characters like me because yeah, I'm entertaining, but I can also fight. You know, I'm top Australia #1. You know, top 5 in the middleweight division. You know, and obviously I'm inactive, so that's put on pause. But as soon as my fight's announced, I'll go back. You know, #1 in the world in the WBA, top 5 in the WBO. You know, IBF, I was world #1, #2. Yeah, so I'm ranked across all 4 sanctioned bodies, and I've proven my position. And the guys that you know were put in front of me, I was beating them. And I just try to be entertaining. You know, if you don't watch my boxing, or you're not a fan of me, you'll be talking about me in other ways. You know, whether you love or you hate me, you're gonna watch me. You know, and if you don't like me, change the channel. You know, I don't have a gun to your head. Yeah, Aussie boxing is red hot at the moment. Like I mentioned, man, you got a number of fighters. You know, I think like we've been overlooked because everyone overseas thinks we're just dumb and tough. But then you got a few of us like myself, Tszyu, like the guys I mentioned, Opatea, Cambosis, Paros. Yeah, these guys, we've got the ability with them. And I've been over there, done training camps. I lived over there. There's not much difference. The quality of sparring is probably the only thing that's different. You know, you walk into a gym, there's 50 Michael Zerafas, and better. You know, we're here, it's a lot harder to scalp out, you know, sparring partners and stuff like that. But I reckon we work harder. You know what I mean? Like we're on par with these guys. Like the guys like over there, they've just got the better quality of sparring. You know, and that's what we need to do. We need to get those guys over. You know, the guys that are here that are red hot, get them over there, and which we are doing. You know, Tszyu goes there, I go there, Opatea's there, Cambosis goes over there, Paro I think's there now, or he just got back. So yeah, man, that's the thing. Maloney, the list goes on. You know, we're in a good spot at the moment. Yeah, Andrei Mikhailovich, like I've sparred him in the past. He's a tough kid, man, and you know what? I like him. He's respectful. He's always been respectful to me. Even when he's called me out, he's been respectful. And if the fight aligns and you know he's in the position that he's going to be in, and he wins, and the stars align, and it's for a world title or you know, like an eliminator, yeah, sure. I mean, I'll fight anyone. If it makes dollars, it makes sense, or if there's a title on the line and it's going to elevate my career, I'll fight. I don't shy away from any fight. You know, I've fought all around the world. You know, I've fought bigger names than Mikhailovich, respectfully. But yeah, I think he's doing great things. He can punch. I've sparred him. He's a tough boy. He's got some whack. Look, sparring, I don't really like talking about, man. Like he said, she said. He's a tough kid, man. You know, Andrei Mikhailovich is tough. I'm not one of those fighters that goes out and talk about sparring and I knocked him out. It's sparring, man. I've had sparring sessions where I've been towed up by amateurs. It's just, you know, I didn't get enough sleep. I didn't have enough water. I wasn't as hot. It is what it is, man. Like, and then the next day I'm in the gym sparring world class and I'm putting them down. It's sparring. It's completely different to a fight, man. I don't like talking about sparring. It's just, yeah, you know, what happens in the gym stays in the gym. But yeah, like I said, at the moment now, I think I'm just that little bit ahead because obviously I've got my fight now and he's working towards that world title. But yeah, like I said, I wish him all the best. Another Aussie on the map, and man, like, oh, man, I'm ready to fight whoever.
In terms of talking, he could probably match you there.
Oh man, there's only one Zerafa. There's no one that can match me in the press conference in the lead up. And I look the best. I've always said I'm too young, too fit, too pretty, man. There's no one that can match me when it comes to the talk. Everyone tries to be American or Conor McGregor. Man, I just be me. I feel like he's good, but he's not great. They need to give me the microphone again and put me back on the main event and you know, put bumps on seats. You need me, man. You need me in the sport to criticise, to mock, to you know, to put eyes on the sport. But he's good. But he's not Zerafa.